Hello world! Welcome to Global Game Jam 2011 from your global organizers. My name is Ian, and with the other three global organizers, Gorm, Fawad, and Zoraida, I'd like to once again welcome you to this event. The four of us wanted to say a few words to those of you who have never done anything like this before. After all, making a game is hard enough when you've got a team of hundreds of people, budgeting in the tens of millions of dollars, and several years to put together something spectacular. And in comparison to that, making something in a small team over a single weekend seems pretty much impossible by comparison. So we wanted to give you a few hints from veterans who have been there and done that. First, and maybe most importantly, control your scope. Whoops, wrong scope. What I mean is, every software project takes longer than you think, so don't plan a game that'll actually take 2 days to make, because I guarantee you will run out of time. Instead, try cutting all of the non-essential features you can while you're planning, and scope for maybe 4 hours or so. Now, this isn't impossible. I know some developers who do what they call a plane jam, where they'll get on an airplane and try to finish a game from scratch before it lands. Your goal should be to play test your game as soon as possible, so that you know how to modify your game to make it as great as you can in the limited time that you have. If you're just finishing up on Sunday, and you realize your game isn't as special as you thought it would be, it's going to be too late to make any changes. Related to that, don't be afraid to throw away everything you've done, and start over if it's not working. The worst case is that if you do that, you end up with 2 or more projects at the end of the weekend, which is pretty impressive when you think about it. Of the Game Jam games that really stand out, most of them focus on an innovative idea, not polish, so avoid doing the obvious. Remember, there will probably be over 1,000 games produced around the world this weekend, so the first thing that pops into your head is probably something a dozen other people will have thought of too. So after you hear the theme, consider just throwing away the first 3 ideas that come to you, because they're probably not as unique as you think. Our fourth tip is be social. Don't be a stranger to other teams. Remember, the Global Game Jam was created in the spirit of collaboration, not competition. Try playtesting your game with other teams. Offer to playtest their games. Get away from your desk once in a while. Relax, socialize, and help each other out. And lastly, remember that staying awake and working for 48 hours straight doesn't necessarily make you more productive. Try to get a good night's sleep tonight and tomorrow, or at least get in a few hours here and there as you can. And for the sake of anyone in the same room as you, do them a favor and bathe yourself. You don't want to be the one smelly person in the room. So, that's what we have to say. We all wish you the best of luck. And now, I introduce our keynote speaker for this year, someone that I am totally not worthy of introducing. If you've ever played Katamari Damacy or Nobi Nobi Boy, you're familiar with the quirky, playful sense of humor used throughout the game. And if you haven't played these games, you should. They're great games. These games were the brainchild of our keynote speaker today, Mr. Kaita Takahashi. Of course, there's far more to this man than just his games, although you wouldn't really know it from his Wikipedia entry, which pretty much just lists his games and then in like one sentence mentions, oh, by the way, he's married and that these days he's working on designing playgrounds for children instead of video games, which might seem like a stretch from video game design unless you've seen his games, and then it seems perfectly natural. And with that, I leave it to Kaita Takahashi, who provides us with his own advice on the process to use for making games in a short time, told in his own unique style.